Hey, y'all, I'm Shane Sams, the host of the Membership Masters podcast. I'm a self-employed, location-independent online entrepreneur, and my family makes its entire living online with membership websites. I started this podcast to help you start, build, and grow a membership business of your own so that you can change your family's future as well. I do that by inviting on some of my best friends and some of the most amazing, successful entrepreneurs on the planet, people who are true experts in what they do, to share their tips and strategies for growth with you so you can do the same thing that we're doing here online. My guest today is an amazing friend of our family and one of the most successful online membership owners that we know. Her name is Erin Chase of $5dinners.com. Erin has been in the membership game and the online business world for, get this, 12 years. I mean, that's pioneer level stuff. She's been out there helping families save money on their grocery bill and on that dinner and save time on their dinner plan for a long, long time. And she's here to tell us all about her low-cost membership site. Erin is a true master of the low-price membership offer. That's where you charge $5, $10, maybe up to $20 a month, and you go wide and you get hundreds, even thousands of people paying you for your online membership. Erin and my wife, Jocelyn, have been in a mastermind now for a long time, and we've become great friends, and I am such an admirer of what Erin Chase has created. Today, we are going to learn all about how Erin built her amazing audience, how she started getting traffic to her site, how she had a prolific content strategy in the beginning that led to a nice, easy content strategy today. And I know you're going to get a lot of golden nuggets out of that conversation so that you can grow your membership site as well. We're also going to talk about how to price your membership, how to look at your audience, how to look at your competition, and how you can really settle in for that perfect price that people are going to jump all over to join your membership and also keep paying you month after month and year after year. We're going to talk about creating multiple streams of revenue through multiple membership sites so that you can have more security built into your business. And we're also going to talk about how you can start, build, and grow a membership site while raising 4 kids. Erin has built her entire empire, all while raising an amazing group of kids in her family. So all you parents out there who are struggling to find time in this pandemic because your kids are home with you all the time like they are with me and Jocelyn, you are going to learn how to balance it all out and how to manage your time here today. I loved this conversation with Erin Chase. I know you're going to love it too. But before we get started, I've got one question. Are you ready to become a membership master today? All right, let's go. Welcome to the Membership Masters podcast, brought to you by membershipmasters.com. This is the podcast where we teach you how to get and keep more members every single month. I've helped thousands of people start, build, and grow memberships, and I interview some of the biggest membership owners anywhere online. My goal is to help you build $1 million membership of your own. Brick by brick, let's do it together. Come on. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Hi, Erin Chase. How are you doing?
Hey, howdy. I am doing very well today. Thank you.
We are surviving 2020 together. We are surviving. You are always baked into my mind. Do you know this? Like here's why you're baked into my mind, because so I remember when we first met, and the first thing I think about is when we went out to dinner in Texas, and it was me and you and Jeanette Stein and Jocelyn and Kate, who was it? Kate Ekdahl and her husband. And I remember, here's why this is embedded in my mind, because I remember we were sitting there and the waiter kept trying to get me to order $100 shots of bourbon. It was the Pappy Van Winkle, and it was this little, and they brought us this little bitty sliver, and it was the most expensive drink, anything food-wise, I had ever ordered in my life, right? And so I ordered this, and I remember we cheersed, and we had a drink, and it was gone. And it was like it just evaporated before it even went in my mouth. And I just remember all of us, I remember everyone in that exact moment sitting there, and it's just embedded in my brain that for some reason I got talked into that $100 shot of bourbon, and we're all sitting there laughing. And then I cannot. You're like this weird like part of our life, because like you and Jocelyn talk all the time, and yeah. I always think And I always think about fancy pictures, and I hear your voice just floating through my house on Voxer sometimes. And you guys always get fancy pictures on all your trips. So like you're like on my dresser, like I sort of walking around my house.
I'm stalking you in your own house.
Yes, right. Like so you are a strong presence in the Sam's household, Erin Chase. All right.
Well, ditto back this direction.
Yeah, that's right. That's
I
right.
love it. That's
good
hilarious.
stuff. So, all right. So tell everybody a little bit about what you do online, because you do a lot. And just to give us some context, and I got some awesome questions because you got an awesome membership site going there.
I do. I'm really excited to get to share any fun nuggets too. I always like to dig these up because it's like, I hadn't thought about that in a while, but I know it's going to be helpful for somebody who is either in the beginning of membership sites or thinking about it, or even further down the road, because we do a lot of fancy schmancy things here and there. So I started $5 dinners 12 plus years ago. And it's a place where we share budget-friendly recipes and just helpful tips and tricks and articles for spending less money on groceries and feeding your family every day without losing your mind. That's basically the premise of $5 dinners. And we have just been a content machine there on $5 dinners for 12 years. And it's ebbed and flowed. We've ramped it up and we've scaled it back, and then as we've spun off different products, we've kind of adjusted, based off of the different products that we have created from what our community wanted. That's how all of our products have come to be. It's basically people asking, I want this, and I want this in a better format. So we create a better format. And that's how we have built out our 2 membership sites. And we also have 3 courses and a physical product store, like a Shopify store as well. And so we've created all of those as their own sort of products or even brands, and then they all live under the like Erin Chase umbrella, if you will. And so that's been a process, sort of building them all out, and then of course, putting them under the like, I'm just here to help you spend less money on groceries and feed your family without losing your mind. So that's the ultimate goal and the setup, if you will, of kind of how we've got everything online.
Yeah, that 12 years is like 180 years in a normal business. You know that, right? Like that's like in online business terms, that's like you're like dinosaur roaming the earth.
Grandma. Yes, the great grandma, the OG of the OGs. Yes.
So when did you launch the membership? So the brand was originally blogging, and like what kind of the content you create, is it like cooking the meals? Is it going through the grocery list? Like what kind of content do you create? And when did you decide, hey, I need to get, some people paying me every month if I'm going to keep building this website?
Well, okay. So the story there is this: the first product that we built in the membership is the $5 meal plan, which is still here. It is a weekly meal plan service. So basically a meal plan and a shopping list. All of the recipes come from $5 dinners. So they're going to be budget friendly. They're going to be family friendly, kid friendly, easy to cook, because I don't have time for complicated, and neither do you. So the that site, I actually that we shared a weekly meal plan with like a funky like checkbox grocery list thing for free. Oh gosh, in 2010, 2011. And it was just real clunky, and it wasn't a great sort of user experience, if you will. It was also free. And so I got a quote from a developer, and it was like some astronomical number. And I was like, yeah, no, that's not happening. Even with like pre-sales, I still don't think I could have like hit the quote that I got. Well, then after a series of discussions with Jim Wang, who had run and sold a website called Bargaineering, a personal finance site, and he now writes at wallethacks.com. He and I were just chatting, and he was like, what if we just emailed a Word doc? And I was like, well, that's better than this funky checkbox situation thing that I had going on. So that's exactly what we did. We did all of the like lean startup, lean product build, lean product development, everything we did probably accidentally to the T. We literally emailed a Word document with the 10 recipes and a shopping list that I like hacked And we had a beta group and we got feedback from them. And then we ended up building out a software, a different company, much better quote. But we were doing it the bare bones way, if you will. And then as it grew and as we had more members and we had the cash flow to then build out the app, that's what we did. And so I really appreciated that process. As slow as it was, it has sure paid itself in dividends over the years. And that's, I think that's the hard part. I still have to remind myself of that. Like, we just want to get going and get our content. We have so much to say and get it out there and tell people, no, slow down. And I've seen people do this and fail, where they don't do a beta or they don't, take their time and then crash and burn. Okay, sorry about that. Because it's, it's all about the P's, right? The product, the timing, and the person, and just matching all that up. And you can't do that well with your audience if you're not actively talking to them in a beta sort of type situation. And so that was the first one that we launched, and that was May 2013 or 14. Oh my gosh, I should know that. It was a long time ago. 6-7 years. And now we do it all inside of the software. It's very quick to set up every week, and we are able to get it out to our thousands of members every Friday morning at 11 Eastern. So
that's amazing. And then they have their grocery list they're armed with to go and save, like, and they save more than they could ever spend on your membership at the cash register. So it's a straight trade of money. Like, hey, listen, you give me my membership fee and I'll give you way more back.
You're going to make more money than the $5 a month. It's $5 meal plan for $5 dinners, and it costs $5 a month. So you are easily going to make back in one recipe, probably, or even maybe two.
Yeah, I love starting out. So our biggest hang up when we teach people in the flipped lifestyle community is they want to build out I don't know why everybody wants to do this. They want to build out every possible course they could ever include. They want every resource they can do. They want all the tech perfect. And I'm like, you could just charge $50 a month for a Facebook group and talk to them for a while. And you might just be surprised with what you learn. And you go back and they're like, oh, they only wanted 3 of the 87 courses I was going to build. Right?
Yeah, because you're going to run yourself into the ground. You're going to get burnt out, and you're going to just, why did all of that go wrong? And well, okay, slow down. That's why it went wrong.
Yeah. So I love your business model. I know a lot about it, through Jocelyn, through knowing you. And, there's a range of ways to do membership sites. And I would, the middle kind of, to me, is like, if 500 a month is like that's where the real high ticket stuff starts. And then somewhere in the middle is $100 to $300 a month, which I see there's lots of different reasons to do. And then also then we have this, like, hey, I'm just going to go wide and I'll get people to pay me $5 a month. I'm going to get a lot of people. Did you decide to, well, the name of the business is $5 dinners. It's an amazing, branding play. But did you decide to go lower ticket just because of the niche, or because it made more sense to get people into a price that they would probably never stop paying no matter what? Or like, what was the thought process behind, say, I'm going to go a low ticket membership, we're going to go really wide, and it'll give us a lot of diversification. There'll be, hundreds of customers, so we won't have to worry about too many people quitting. Like what was the thought process of keeping it so low, and then also keeping it, the same? I mean, it's like you've just been crushing that $5 dinner branding for so long, and there's not been, anything raised there. So like, what was the thought process behind that?
Well, first it starts with our audience and what they can afford, and being fair. Second is going to be comps, market comps, and meal plans. One could argue are a commodity nowadays. And so we had to do something different, and we had to do something quickly. And so there are very few meal plans priced at more than $20 a month. There's very few. There's a lot priced in the $10 to $15 range. And then we're $5 meal plan because we're really just after the super, super budget conscious audience. And that's what the $5 dinner audience has been since the very beginning. I mean, it's people who can't, it's the rice and beans budget. It's the people who can't afford to eat meat more than twice a week. It really is. And I'm very mindful of that. I understand this is also a business. And so it's the value trade there. And so the $5 meal plan price point came because of just the $5 dinners play in the budget. And then we can go wide. And the third factor beyond the audience and the commodity component would be we're consumer focused. B2C is completely different, I feel like, price points than B2B or E2E, entrepreneur to entrepreneur. So those kind of three factors, I think, is what's helped me price out both the $5 baby plan and then our freezer cooking membership, which is a separate entity. Different price point there because we have a lot more offerings and we have a more developed software component.
That's for Freeze Easy. Is that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How much is that priced? I've not even seen that one.
That's priced at $10 a month right
now. Okay. And that's for freezer meals, right? Like teaching people how to freeze them.
Freezer meal prep. And that one has a mobile app. We offer 12 different plans a month versus the 2. So there's just a little bit more variety and I don't want, maybe not functionality, but they're just different and they're used differently, although they're very complementary. And we have a lot of people who are a member of both. But I think it's those three things that have helped me determine the pricing. And I think too, going back to that whole beta concept and starting with a group of 30 or 50 or 100 people, our betas were 100 and 200 for each of those two memberships. The $5 meal plan was 100 people. The second, the Freeze Easy, was 200 people. And it's asking them, how much is this worth to you? You know, because if you're really meeting that need, they're going to tell you straight up, they're your most loyal people. Those are your super fans, right? So they're going to tell you, I would absolutely pay $47 a month for your group call and like whatever your offerings are. I don't know what your offerings are, but or 97 or 490, whatever they are. I just ask. Your loyal people will tell you what the return on their investment looks like when you really take the time, slow down, dig in, and meet with them and find out what that is.
Yeah, I love memberships like this too, because I love low ticket memberships. Like I really like prices that are lower. I really enjoy the go wide strategy more than I do the, go high, because, and especially when there's a clear value exchange, like with ours, it's definitely biz op. So I can tell you like, hey, if you pay, $97 a month, but then you get 2 members at $50 a month in your own membership, and then you get one more, you're making $50 a month. At that point, it's gravy, right? It's the same thing here. Like when there's a clear monetary value exchange, and like yours is not biz op, but it's clear. If you'll pay me 5, I'll save you 25 or whatever, sure. Right? On your, right. It's just such an easy pitch when you really think about your pricing by the audience, what they can afford, the competition, but also like what are they getting out of it? And you can assume what people are getting out of it, but you don't know, right? Like when we started Flip Lifestyle, we were like, oh, people will get this. And then we met like 20 people and we did a beta group. And then they're like, no, I got this. And we were like, oh, that's how we should teach it. And even with the membership game, like we used to have a course that our goal was to get a product out within 30 days. That was the mission of the course. And we realized when we did the membership, we started doing a couple trainings on memberships and we were killing it. And we were like, oh, people don't want to get rich. They want a stable, predictable income. They want to make sure their bills are paid 6 months in advance. That's what we've got to teach. And it just totally like pivoted everything. But it was because we at least understood the audience, the comps, and what they wanted. And then they told us the value once they kind of tried it out, I guess is what I'm saying. Right. You know what I mean?
They give you back that value in some form of a testimonial or survey response or whatever. And then you're like, oh yeah, we get that all the time. I'm like, never would have thought to use the app that
way. So tell me about marketing on a lower ticket thing, because our catchphrase is you only need 100 people to pay you $50 a month to make $60,000 a year. That's our tagline or whatever, right? So like so we're focusing on, you've got to get a bunch of people, but it's not a whole bunch of people. But at $5 a pop, you got to spread a little bit wider. You got to have more people. So it is going to be, I guess, more content and audience focused. So how do you grow that audience that can support going a little bit wider? And how do you market that membership and break even on ads and do all those things?
Okay. So $5 Dinners is a highly trafficked website in and of itself. And both memberships are woven everywhere. They can be on the $5 Dinners website. So whether that's a little side, we have our own little ad units. It's like sidebar ad, or it's within the content of a recipe post, or it's in an article. So that's probably the primary for both. I guess I could speak to both. The second would be our email newsletter, the $5 Dinners. Well, now it's the Erin Chase email newsletter, gets sent out to a lot of people and every week. And there's always a mention and a link in there. Like, here's a list of recipes, but if you want more, you want to customize, personalize, go here to do that, become a member. So website, email, we have SEO. It's not our top priority. Our top priority is email, and then lead gen into the email, obviously.
Like getting as much content out as possible, get them on the email list, then push them through the email, right?
Right. And $5 Dinners has a high domain authority, and it has a lot of great SEO already. So it's kind of a combination of all the things.
How did you get to that point? Like, I mean, having an older site and being, out there gives you a lot of domain authority. But like when you first started content creating, which built all this, like, you've got breadcrumbs like Hansel and Gretel, where you've been writing posts for, forever. Like, how much content did you create in the beginning? Do you do a blog post a week? Were you doing 10 blog posts a week? And I know you do a lot of, not this year, but you speaking and TV appearance, public appearances and things like that. But like, what about the content play at the beginning? Do you think you just threw so much mud on the wall that the traffic built over time? Or why does that, or how did you do that through your content?
Now it's just kind of its own machine. We just keep feeding it once a week now. It used to be 2 posts a day.
What? 2 posts a day? That is prolific, Erin Chase.
But they're not like long. They're not 2,000 word articles. They're just like, hey, here's a coupon. Hey, here's an offer for an email newsletter for Pillsbury, and they'll mail you $3 off coupons or whatever. So there's a lot of short, quick stuff, and then recipe posts. We've always kept them either just the recipe. Without the story fluff that a lot of people complain about.
Right.
Or it's an article, like a how-to with photo. Like, we have a lot of photo tutorial type recipes. So it's one or the other. There's not a lot of there's a lot of Erin and the boys in the website, like woven throughout the years, but it's not like every single time I'm telling you a long drawn out story. No, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't want that. You don't want that. So I think it is that. And I think too, being in the food space, there's not a shortage of budget friendly recipes in the world. So there's that is helpful. Like the more niche you get into a topic, the harder it is to come up with content over and over and over, especially if it's longer form content, or you're, you need to write longer articles to then, get people into your world so that they're buying a higher ticket product.
Oh, I see. So you're saying keeping it
game.
Yeah. Keeping it broad helped you to have so much content ideas where you could go 2 posts a day, even though the concept is niched. It's, budget dinners, but then you got a lot of room to talk. How long did you do 2 posts a day though? Yeah. I don't care how short they are.
Years.
Really? Yeah. That's amazing.
4,
That's
5, 6, 7 years. And then we backed it down to 1 a day. And then it was Monday through Friday. And then it was Monday. And I'm not doing all of this. There've been people helping me all along the way. And then it was Monday, Thursday, Friday. And now it's once a week.
That's amazing. And I think that
also because we have we're like putting out content for other brands now too. It's not just $5 dinners. So.
Right. But you get to you've earned the right to focus because you earned the right to focus. And that's a lesson for everybody. People will come up to me and they'll say, well, like, hey, you do like one thing a week, right? Or you do one thing a day or whatever. And I'm like, you don't get to do what I do now. You have to do what I did. And people want to skip that when they're growing a membership or a website or a podcast or whatever. And that's not how it works. That's just not how it works. You don't get to do that. I remember when we launched the Flip Lifestyle podcast, Jocelyn and I sat down and we recorded 20 episodes of the podcast, and we released them every day. Like we could have kept that for 20 weeks or whatever. And we just said, no, these first ones are coming out every day. And then we'll batch another ones and we'll make them come out every day. That'll get us some traction. Right. And eventually we'll scale back, to whatever. And I remember Jocelyn with the elementary librarian. Oh my gosh, she had to have blog post every day, and she was on social media every day. And then yeah. And then once it was done, it was done. Like U.S. history teachers took me about 2 years to build. We have 6 million words of copy in that product. We counted it. We wrote a textbook. We have worksheets. It's stupid. It's so much content. Like it's more than any textbook has provides to schools. But we counted it one day. But I have not touched that website since 2016. Yeah. Nothing. Zero. Right. Not one blog post. Nothing. Just I share memes on Facebook, and it works. Yeah. Right. But that 3 years of writing 6 million words sucked. It was terrible.
You did it, and it's paying for itself. That's the whole. Yeah. Very very similar, just different.
Different spaces or whatever. Yeah. My team, it's funny because we put so little work into that site. They call it the redheaded stepchild. They don't even call it U.S. history teachers, because I'm like, we don't do anything. We just send an email like every week and say on Monday, like, what are you teaching? And they reply back and we're like, here you go. So it's like,
I love it. That's amazing.
What's old Dave say, baby? If you live like no one else, you get to live like no one else. You know what I mean? Awesome.
Online content marketing as well.
That's right. All right. So what, how about the multiple streams of income? Like why? So we always tell people will come in and be like, I got 6 ideas for a membership. I should start all of them. And we're like, no, start one, make it work, and then it'll work. But like what got you to a point where you made the decision like, hey, we need this other revenue stream. We want to separate it where it's not one membership where you get both, but you got to join one or the other. Like what led to that? Because that literally doubles the work in your business, however much work that is, because you got a different group of members. You got to check both places. Customer service probably goes to the same place. But like what caused that where you wanted to have 2 different revenue streams?
Probably was an accident, but a great accident. We like happy accidents around here. The freezer cooking membership was born out of several viral posts. And by viral, I mean like not nowadays viral, like old days viral. Crazy, ridiculous. I shared a number of different meal plans that you can make 20 meals for $150 using ingredients all from Costco. So it's kind of like a mix and match bulk purchase, different. So you're not eating the same thing over and over, but you're not stuck with 6 cans of black beans in the pantry kind of deal. And those, I can't even explain to you how like viral they went. Millions of visitors on a weekend. It was just crazy.
You hit a nerve in your audience, basically, and everybody started sharing that.
Well, yeah, the very first one I shared was just a free printable. It was like probably 6 pages long. It wasn't really even long. I literally posted it to the website, came back a week later, and the little share button, I don't have these on the site now, but it used to have a number. I use a different plugin now, but had like 120,000 shares in the week. And I had no idea it was even being shared like that. Like I've never been an obsessive traffic checker and all that stuff. Anyway, so I was like, oh, okay. So that same post went viral on its own. We couldn't trace the origin, like January, the first of the year, 2014. So from there, I built that. I made that a better product and then sold it. And then we built out a second one, a third one, a fourth one. We ended up building out 12 different versions, different themes, like work from home lunches and all breakfasts and like all gluten-free and all slow cooker. We built out different variations. Well, so that was over a period of probably 2.5 years that we built out the 12 versions. And meanwhile, $5 meal plan is still over here spinning. It's going the whole time. And the feedback that we got was overwhelmingly, these are amazing, but I don't eat this and I don't like that, and my family won't touch that, but everything else is great. Well, that's an easy problem. I mean, over like thousands of emails like this, not
Yeah.
kidding.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, well, that's an easy problem to solve. We just put it all into a software. Because as we would create each one, it's the same process. It's the recipe, create the shopping list, write out the instructions. Recipe, I mean, that's softwareable, right? And so I had a connection to a new development team that then built out. We worked together. It was probably about a 5 or 6 month build to build out the web version, and then shortly thereafter they released the mobile app versions. And that, again, it was similar to the $5 meal plan. We had a 200-person beta group, super slow, getting feedback, what's breaking, what's working, what would you like us to add? We'll put it in phase 2, all that sort of, it's lean startup or lean product development, basically straight out of the book. And so I think that it was just born from a different product and a different problem.
Yeah. Yeah. So why did you go with a little bit higher price? Was that just because of the feedback you got from the value? You know what I'm saying? Like, cause it could have been just another, like you could have stayed on $5, like why did you decide to go with a higher price? Just because people told you it was more worth it because they could keep the food longer or get it all done at once, or, what I'm saying?
It's a different product. We offer more options. It's more customizable. You can just do more with it. Has the mobile app as well. So it was basically trying to cover all of those costs, and it has higher, it has higher overhead compared to the $5 meal plan, just in terms of software, and like on our side, software, customer support, quantity, I guess, is much higher. So yeah, I think it's kind of a combination of all of that.
Yeah. Do you ever bundle them together? This is something that, like, for example, in my brother has a website now that he sells world history lesson plans on, right? And and I help, I'll email my list and I'll help him, and we'll share each other's Facebook posts or whatever. But we've actually even thought about bundling them, almost like it'd be like an affiliate relationship with us. Like, like you sign up for ours and you got to upsell, and it's like, bam, there, I get half. You know what I mean? Like, do you bundle them together, or you just sell them separately? Like, hey, you signed up for $5 dinners, we also have Freeze Easy, and you buy it separate? Or do you like ever put them together? Like, because I've always wondered if there's a way to build multiple, like we've talked about doing a local marketing type product. Jocelyn's really been into that lately, like helping local small business, especially with COVID and the pandemic. And I was like, is there a way to have two separate things but bundle them together? So like, because maybe the local person wants to do some online stuff. Like, do you bundle them together, or you just leave them separate all the time and get as many people as you can to buy both?
Yeah, the latter. I've never bundled the two memberships because they are just different entities. It would be an accounting
nightmare. Yeah.
I have, however, bundled a membership plus a course.
Yeah, just something else to put inside of it or whatever.
Or a membership and a freebie sort of thing from the store, or like a bonus or whatever.
I'll tell you what stinks about that. Like I last year was the first year I bundled my paper newsletter subscription, Membership Masters, with the community. I did it for summer. I was like, I wonder if this would work. But it's a kind of a disaster, because if someone's already a member, then they buy the bundle and your automation's wrong. They don't, the old subscription wouldn't cancel, and then like they got billed twice. So that was, we thought that one through real well, Erin, let me tell you. And then
didn't have the tech set up right.
That's right. That was a tech problem. But
we wouldn't have that tech problem with the CRM that we use. But
and I had another problem. Someone canceled one of the bundles, so I was like, "Ooh, feedback." So I wrote them a message, and I said, "Hey, why'd you cancel your bundle?" And they're like, "Well, I didn't need the newsletter, but I love the community." And I'm like, "Crap! I just let them quit both. They didn't go sign back up for the other one. They quit on both." So I've learned a value.
Separate open orders, or however you're selling.
Yes, exactly. So we need I like nice separated.
You need to reset the way that you technically set that up, and it could work.
Well, we fixed it. I don't know how to. I haven't figured out yet how to make them cancel one once they buy the bundle, but I'm working on it. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to solve the problem. All right. So this question is from Jocelyn. Jocelyn's like, all right, you got to ask Erin this. Okay. How on earth have you built this incredible, amazing, go wide, low ticket business that's just serving families and saving them hundreds of dollars a month all over the world when you got 4 kids? Like, we can't survive 2 kids, Erin. Like, how do you guys do it? Like, this is a common excuse I get when people are like, I want to grow a business. I want to do this. But man, I'm so busy with my kids. But you got 4. You got 4. So how do you survive this? How do you do this?
I don't remember. No.
COVID fog. COVID fog.
Well, we could blame COVID, but no. So I think that is, you kind of, I don't know how to answer that. I answer it in phases maybe. When they were little, I had to work in the fringe hours. So I would work and this is actually kind of how I've been working this year, pandemic year. We kind of all got thrust back into survival mode, which felt a lot like having newborns and toddlers in the house.
Yes, it does. Yeah, I think my kids have reverted back mentally to newborns and toddlers. I feel like
a 4-year-old sometimes, but I think that back then it was, work. I'd be up till 1 a.m, 2 a.m. After bedtime, I would get this crazy surge of energy because I was so excited and I had to type this up and share this or send the email or whatever. And then just working in 15-minute pockets of time. Anytime someone's like, how do I do this with a toddler? You got 15 minutes to get something done. And you have to just chip away at, or take one tiny bite of the elephant or whatever analogy you want to use. And so I think that that's kind of how I did it in the early years. Once we got into school age, and then once I took on a consultant role in 2012, I think, I had to get help because they were just, there's only so many 15-minute chunks. And when someone's paying you a consultant, by the hour, you got to give them your full attention. And so I have had very part-time help since then. So that's 7-8 years. And that's just allowed me to have larger chunks of time, in the week that I can focus on. At that time was consultant role in what is now, full steam ahead, multiple products in the business. So I think it's good for your kids to see this. I think my oldest son is obsessed with becoming an entrepreneur right now.
Awesome.
Because both Steve and I work for ourselves, and he sees what we're able to do, and he sees the flexibility and freedom that we have. And we've especially seen that this year, just with the drama of this year. And so I think,
was it this year your home got destroyed, or was that last year?
We are 9 days away from the anniversary as we record.
I was gonna say, it's all running together. This year's been crazy, but I was like, didn't your floor get destroyed and then the pandemic happened?
House. What you're seeing is my brand new office. We had to move out for 6 months in this year, so our pandemic started in a rental house. So yeah, but aside from that, the other thing too that I think that we have really figured out in our business is work that is keeping the lights on, work that keeps revenue flowing, I guess, and then growth work. I call it business maintenance, business growth work. So literally a year ago on December 12th, pretty much the last day that I was in business growth mode. That's changing again now that we've kind of settled in. We understand what pandemic life is like, and our kids do go to school at the moment. That could change at any time. And so the growth for me personally is back on the horizon. This entire year has been maintenance mode, just get through for not just from our house flood, but from a number of other incidences that were quite unfortunate. So so I think being able to see those two types of tasks has helped me with being a mom of 4 also. So when they're in a normal year, any year except for this year. They're in school. I'm in growth mode. Summer months, business maintenance mode.
That's good.
And I flip between them pretty quickly. Or some of my business maintenance will start to I'll start to sort of do a little bit of growth work. So I know you know this, but our family has a family cabin in northern Minnesota, and we go there every summer for 6 weeks. And so that's just like, I'm trying to work no more than an hour a day. I still have to do things, and I want to do things, and I like working, and I like the flexibility of working from there. But towards the end of that time, I'm starting to kind of like, okay, as soon as I get home, it's this, and we start like ramp that back up, if you will, and kind of go back into, and that's usually typically one of our biggest revenue months is August and September with back to school. And so, most of my time working in the summer is kind of that maintenance mode, because I'm out pulling kids water skiing literally for hours.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I drive the jet ski at our house with the tube attached to it. Trust me, yes, I know.
And it's
your neck, you get that crick in your neck from looking left to make sure nobody fell off.
You need to get a mirror. You need to mount a little mirror.
I've got a mirror, but like when I swing them, I lose them, and I'm like, okay, did I kill Anna? Where's Anna?
So funny. Well, okay. So, but yeah, that's the idea, is being able to, as life hits you, and happens as a parent and as a business owner, to be able to move between maintenance and growth as life happens. Like literally December 12th last year, or the morning of the 13th, I guess, I didn't work for weeks.
Yeah.
If there's
disaster.
I just, Lauren, help figure it out.
Right. Exactly. That's how we were last month when we got COVID, and the sicker I got, and I started canceling everything. And I realized I'm not going to be able to work for 4 weeks. I had pneumonia. I was in the hospital, you know? And what was cool, what here, I think this is the perfect way to sum up why, because I know you guys value family, you guys value balance, you guys value control, right? And I love the membership model for that reason, because if that life happens, I know I've got hundreds of people that are paying me every single month. If I have 10 clients, it's going to disappear very fast if something like that happens, because you can't serve them, And I love the concept of growth versus maintenance, because when the COVID hit, it identifies exactly what's really important, really, really quickly. I saw all my friends that don't have kids were like, we're going to do this full speed ahead. I don't care what's happening. Woo, I'm going to do it. And I'm like, no, I'm going to shut my coaching program down, because that was gravy money, and that was serving a small group of people. And I need to focus all of my attention over here. And we need to get into maintenance mode and make sure that our membership, the monthly member, that's the foundation of the pyramid, the whole growth of the mountain. Everything there is where it is. Nothing happens without the monthly members. And it's funny how just life, if you just let that happen, even on a day-to-day basis. Did Jocelyn tell you about our pipe exploding the other day?
Oh yes, I had PTSD for you. I was like,
oh my, Erin, if we had not been there, we were so lucky. So our home manager, her name's Jen, and she comes in and helps us every day with home stuff. She was washing dishes when it happened. If she had not been standing there, here's a new technique for you guys that are working at home with your kids. We have a rule in our house. Daddy bought a $300 pair of noise canceling headphones. They are very large, and they go on my ears. And if anyone sees Daddy with those on, you do not talk to Daddy. That's a rule, right? So I had him on. I didn't know what was going on. I was literally in a team meeting planning the week, and I hear somehow just the softest help, but it wasn't. She was screaming help, and I go, and I took it off, and I go, what's going on? And she goes, water, as loud as she could. It was up to her ankles already.
I believe it.
I spent the next 20 minutes stuffing towels down a pipe to keep it from coming back up out of the septic tank. Yeah. It was a disaster, just a total disaster. But here's what was amazing. We were definitely in maintenance mode in the house and in the business in that moment, but I had stuff scheduled for then, and it just went away. And that's just the way it was. And I had to, lose a little momentum over here to save the house. So it's cool, man, when you have a membership to be able to say, like, when you guys had that disaster, you know what? We got all those members. They're going to be there. We've got some systems in place.
Yep.
We lose a few things and we make it happen. It's just what we do.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that the systems is the most important part. Having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people that on your team that can step in and do whatever it is that needs to be done to keep the lights on is hands down the most important thing I've probably ever done in this business.
I tell you what I learned too. Like systems are cool, but like if I can't podcast, they don't get recorded, right? So after COVID, we learned not only do we need really good systems for the functioning of the business, we need a rain plan. We need a disaster plan. Like we didn't have we batch ahead, but like we got into a weird thing where we were, 6 weeks batched ahead, and then I got sick for 4. So we had to okay, now we have reruns. We have what can we do if this happens to keep the thing going for 3 months or whatever. So. Totally. Well, love it, friend. I love talking to you. I think this was a great conversation. I think there's a lot of parents out there that are going to get a lot out of our natural disasters that we survived this year. And I know a lot of membership owners are out there just man, I gotta step up my content game, and I gotta consider how I'm going to go wide and get this membership going so that I can find that freedom to go up to my cabin and start skiing. So I appreciate your time, and thank you for sharing with everybody today. Tell everybody where they can find you online.
$5 dinners, the number $5dinners.com is where you can find me. From there, you can find everything else we talked about here today.
All right, guys, what an amazing conversation with my good friend, Erin Chase. She really is a rock star entrepreneur at playing the game at a whole other level. I really want to, encourage you to go check out $5 dinners as well. She's got some amazing resources for families if you want to save some money on your grocery bill. And maybe you've got an idea for one of those low ticket membership sites. Maybe you want to start a membership site, charge $5, go get 1,000 people to pay you $5 a month, make $60,000 a year, get a couple thousand people to pay you $10 a month, maybe make $120,000 or more every year. There's 300 million people in America and 7 billion people on the earth. You can create a low ticket membership that creates a lot of revenue for you and your family. We would love to help you do that inside of our Flipped Lifestyle community. That's where we help real families start, build, and grow a membership site of your own so that you can create an online income, so that you can take control of your time, like Erin says that she had when she was going up to her cabin and doing all those things. And you can get started in the Flipped Lifestyle program right now for absolutely free. All you have to do is go to flippedlifestyle.com/free. That's FLIPPED lifestyle.com/free. And you can see all the courses, all the community events, and all of the coaching and leadership that we provide for our members today. That's flippedlifestyle.com/free. And who knows, you may start, build, and grow a crazy successful membership and end up right here on the Membership Masters podcast someday too. That's all the time I've got for this week, guys. Until next time, get out there, take action, be consistent, be prolific, be relentless, and do whatever it takes to build a successful membership site today. We'll see you next time.